Right. Let's see. Okay, so we are live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So let's see what questions you guys have and we can address them. And in the meantime, okay, cool. Good. Okay, so let's talk about this family reunification parole that we started getting invitations for. So if you have an I-130 that was approved and your case has been pending at National Visa Center for a long time, waiting for a visa to become available, basically waiting for your priority date to become current, then you might actually get lucky and get an invitation from Department of State or from CBP, USCIS, whatever. I don't even know which agency issues them anymore, to do the family reunification. And it's like a 14-page letter. It's crazy. That gives you a lot of information. Half of it is wrong, but it's whatever. And it's good, okay, because it allows you, if you go through the process and you do qualify, it allows you to come to the United States sooner rather than waiting outside the United States and waiting there until your turn comes. So you can come with your family sooner to the United States, and then once you are here, you are paroled, you can theoretically apply for a work permit and the green card application. Okay. Hi, Gia. So yeah, so those paroles are actually very good processes. Some people want to go through with it and some not. There is obviously a cost associated with it, and some people choose not to, especially if they're very, very close in the process, because obviously if they are continuing with the process, they are coming directly with the green card. So some people choose not to. Most people actually choose to go with the parole process, and I encourage everyone to actually consider and do them. But I have seen a couple of people who it's actually better than they don't. What we also have seen is where the I-130 was approved such a long time ago that the petitioner, the US citizen relative who sponsored you, has passed away. So just so you know, when something the petitioner passes away, the actual application is automatically canceled. So there is a process called humanitarian reinstatement that you can actually file for, and another relative can step in the shoes of the actual petitioner, basically replace the initial petitioner, and see if the government approves that. Then the process continues. And there are ways to do that. The process does take a long time. So it's a good thing that if you do get this, if you are in that particular situation where the petitioner did die, and now you get the family reunification parole invitation, then absolutely you should try, because otherwise who knows how much longer you're going to wait anyway, right? So let's address some of your options, but humanitarian reinstatement is always an option, okay? Let's see. How long is the adjustment of status taking in New York City? Karina, I'm assuming you are talking about adjustment of status based on marriage to a U.S. citizen. Do you want to tell me more about the category so I can check for you? I can check processing timelines right now for you if you tell me more, okay? But I'll check. How long is the K-1 visa taking? We applied in January. When you're talking K-1 visa, tell me more. Did you just apply for the I-129F? Did that part get approved and now you are at the National Visa Center and you are waiting for, where exactly are you in the process? Tell me more, okay? Can my daughter petition me with re-entry with combo card? Anita, it depends on your daughter's immigration status and your status in the United States at the time she petitions for you, okay? And I also need to know how you entered the country, okay? So tell me more. What is initial evidence for I-130? The most important initial evidence is the relationship. So the petitioner needs to be, generally speaking, US citizen or permanent resident, and then you need to show the relationship, either marriage or parent or child, and then you need to show that, and then they can petition for you. Okay, so Karina, you're married to a US citizen. Let's see. So you applied and you're in New York, you said, so family base. Let's see, New York. When you say New York, I'm assuming it's New York City, right? So let's go with that. It says 17 months, okay? 80% of the applications are completed within 17 months. I have seen them come a little bit faster than that in New York, okay? So you should probably expect in about a year and 3 months, okay? Now, if you completed a full application and you submitted everything, okay? And your application was very well documented, okay? So if your application was very well documented and you submitted your financials and proof of your good faith marriage and you submitted your medical, you might actually be waived for an interview. So you may not be called for an interview. You may actually get the green card before you even get the work permit. That is at their discretion. We see that a lot when the package is actually very well documented. You received the reunification email for your brother. However, since last month, he's in Florida. What should I do? It's for your brother, which is great. He's in Florida. We are in Florida. We can help you with that. You got it since last month. Why haven't you applied already? Where is your brother located? Is he in Haiti? I'm assuming, could be, maybe I'm wrong, Haiti, Colombia. Where is your brother from? Yes, so okay, so the gentleman who's asking about the K-1, yes, it got approved, but we haven't heard of it going to National Visa Center. Okay, so your I-129F was approved. It takes literally 3 months to 3.5 months to get to the National Visa Center. If it's been 3 months, 3.5 months, and you have not received an email from NVC, you can use their public inquiry form and send them a copy of your approval. Don't do it before then because it's not going to get anywhere, okay? But yes, it takes about 3.5 months. It used to be significantly faster, just like that. It's very slow right now, 3.5 months. And then it gets there, and then you're going to be waiting again because they are waiting for the consulate to schedule the interview for the fiancé visa. I see where USCIS has the My Progress on the I-131, and it's confusing because it says next step. Everything is confusing about the government. My I-130 is saying longer than expected. Why? I don't know. There are a million reasons your I-130 could be longer than expected. You should talk to your immigration lawyer to see if there are any particular red flags in your application and see if there is a way to file an inquiry to see why it's taking longer than expected. Sometimes you file an inquiry and the response from them comes and says, yes, we know it's taking longer than expected. However, we are working on it. We do not need anything from you. If we need anything, we'll let you know. There's nothing else you can do except file another inquiry in 60 days. How long marriage based on green card application takes inside USA? It depends on where you live. Okay. I-134A. That's not a question. I don't know what to tell you. I applied first step in November 2022 and still nothing. Joe, I don't know what first step is because you didn't tell me the type of application you applied for. So I don't know. I applied for asylum almost 11 months ago and it's still on pending. I don't do asylum, so I cannot help you with that. Yes, it got approved. We never got word that it was sent to National Visa Center. Yeah, I know, 3.5 months, sorry. Next step is biometric, and I already did biometric and received my EAD card, yes. Karina, you're welcome. Verona, after approving my I-130, how long does it take for my I-485? So, did you apply for I-130 and 485 at the same time? Did you apply for the 485 after the I-130? Did you have a case that was pending in immigration court in the meantime? Because they normally approve both of them at the same time. Did you have an immigration interview and they approved the I-130 and now you're just waiting for the 485? I don't have enough information to give you that answer. It really depends. The case is I applied for a sibling in 2013 with her kids. Now their kids are over 21, possibility. If you applied back in 2013 and the children are still not married, okay, there is something called the Child Status Protection Act, CSPA, and that would allow them to recoup some of the period of time so they will not age out. You might want to contact your immigration attorney and see if they are aging out, if the children are aging out, because even if they're over 21 doesn't mean they necessarily aged out, but you want to see how much of that you can recoup, and if they are aging out, if there is a way for you to expedite so that they will not, okay? Now, when you apply for a sibling, it depending on the country you are from, it could be taking 20-something years. So if you have a long time to wait, you might want to see what your options are, okay? What happens when your application is forwarded to NVC? National Visa Center creates a new case for you. They act as a clearing center and further processing of your case. And they act as a gatekeeper, basically processing for all the consulates all over the world. And they are the scheduling, okay? They are checking all the documentation. They're asking for additional documentation. They are processing some more, and then they are waiting for the consulates to say, okay, for the next month, you can schedule 30 appointments in Bogota, you can schedule 300 appointments in New Delhi, you can schedule how many, and then they do that. And then the next month they do the same, and that's per specific visa type, and that changes every single month depending on workload. Udesh, NVC approved in India October 2022. How time for the interview? It depends on visa type, and you and I both know that India goes up and down all the time. So if it approves, when you say NVC approved, what you mean is documentarily qualified. It could still be a couple more years. All right, let's see. Yeah, it is Haiti. I figured it was Haiti. Listen, Port-au-Prince is a problem. They have not been processing any immigrant visas in 3.5 years, okay, since the pandemic. Really, it's like nothing's moving there. It is really, really bad. And even people who applied for the Biden parole, even people who are applying for this reunification parole, it's very hard to get them to come. So even those who come on parole, they get lucky because it's getting processed by CBP and they don't go through the consulate. So whatever it is that you can do to avoid that consulate, just do it, okay? If you got that family reunification last month and you still haven't done it, the question is why? Because that consulate is not going to move anytime soon. There is 4 years of people ahead of you. I'm in America. I don't have document. How can I have? I'm underage. Amin, I need you to contact an immigration lawyer in your area who is very familiar with special immigrant juvenile status and see if they can help you if you are under the age of 18, okay? and see if they can help you with that. How long does it take for I-130? An I-130 could take anywhere. Last I checked, seriously, let's see. It depends on the category, but let's say it's a U.S. citizen filing for a parent national benefit center or all centers. Let's just check all field offices. Seriously, they had it listed at 53 months. It was horrible, okay? Let's see. B, I have submitted for renewal of my EAD back in 2022. I haven't received it yet. Under what category, B? Did you apply for renewal of your TPS? Under what category did you submit for your renewal? I did, Joe, you did your first step in November. How long does it take? So if you did your first step in November, it depends on where you live. And it really goes by, if you really want to check processing times for a one step, then you need to check the processing time under the 485 for your local office. So let's say you live in New York, then you go to USCIS's website and you check processing times for the 485 in New York. That's the way you're going to check. Yeah, Tony, if your case says longer than expected, said nothing is outstanding, it's really nothing you can do. If you do 3 inquiries and 60-day intervals, at some point you either can file a lawsuit against the government to force them to make a decision in your case. Obviously, you shouldn't do that on your own. Or you can reach to your congressman or your senator if you are the US citizen, okay? I applied for my son's green card over 6 months ago, never got it. 6 months ago is nothing in immigration time. My fiance is on F1 work visa. When he filed his status change, can he still work while waiting? No, he cannot. If he's on F1, he doesn't have a work visa. If he is on F1 OPT, he can work on that OPT until OPT expires. OPT is not a work visa, okay? So just know what your fiance's status is, okay? Now, when he filed, his status changes, okay? Theoretically, he cannot work once his OPT is over until he gets his work permit under the marriage. Joe, married to an immigrant from Mexico, okay. Great. So if it says that your estimated time to be completed in 1 week, hopefully you get it in a couple of weeks, okay? How long does it take to get work permit by VAWA? Okay, so it really depends. It's about 9 to 12 months from the time you got the receipt. Okay, I just got my work permit in the mail. Any idea how long it will take to get the I-130 and 485 approved? Everyone, please listen to this one. One has absolutely nothing to do with the other. You can have 5 work permits approved in 6 years and still not get the green card approved ever. The work permit being approved has nothing to do with the I-130 being approved. I-130 being approved has nothing to do with the green card being approved. Just because you got the work permit approved means nothing, means only one thing. You got the work permit approved. Nothing more, nothing less. So don't look at, I got my work permit, soon I'm going to get the rest. One has nothing to do with the other. I applied for my husband's I-130. How long is going to take? I'm green card holder. When did you apply? If you applied and you are a green card permanent resident filing for a spouse and you just filed it, I need to know exactly the location you applied, but let's say on average, because we're going to look, 60 months, 5 years. Joe, we married in 2013 and just started the process in November. Why did you wait 2013, 10 years ago? Why did you wait 10 years to file? Joe, what's going on there? Did you mean to say 2023? Probably not. Started in November 2013. Why'd you wait 9 years? What is the request for evidence section looking for as evidence specifically? The request for evidence section, the request for evidence will tell you exactly what the government is looking for. It will actually spell it out and tell you exactly what they are looking for. Now, it will say it in legal terms. If you cannot read and understand exactly what the government is looking for, don't guess. Seriously, hire a lawyer to help you with it. You only get one opportunity to respond to that request for evidence. One. If you don't send exactly what that officer wants, your application is going to be denied, and then you start from scratch. This is not the time to play. Can you apply for citizenship if you are on probation for battery? No, you cannot, because you cannot show good moral character. For F2A, NVC, India, October 2022 approved. How much time for interview in India? India has multiple consulates. It really depends. So I cannot pull up right now to see the visa bulletin, so I can't answer that one for you, Dash. How to sponsor my brother? I'm a US citizen. You start by filling out the I-130. For your brother, it depends on what country he's from. He could be waiting anywhere between 7 years and 26 years. AJ, what happens if you stay out of the US more than 1 year on green card? If you have permanent residency and you stay outside longer than 1 year and you did not maintain ties in the United States, the US could consider that you abandoned your residency. So they could deny you entry on return. Oh, CD, please, how long does motion to reopen take from the court? That's a very good question. So let's go over that one, okay? Motion to reopen. Is it going to be decided by the judge or the Board of Immigration Appeals? That's one. Second, which location? Third, how good is your judge or the BIA? If there is a motion that's pending at the BIA, it could take about 2 years right now. Is the motion to reopen opposed or unopposed? It really depends. Okay, we have had motions to reopen approved in 2 weeks, and we still have motions to reopen that are pending 2 years later. So I wish I had an answer for that, but it really depends on the judge. It depends on the court. It depends on so many different facts. It depends on the facts of your case. How long does it take to renew a green card? Are you filing electronically? You mean the renewal on an I-90, or you mean renewal of a conditional residency by removing the conditions? So I'm hoping you mean an I-90. If you're filing it online, we have had some clients who got it within a week, but we also have a few that are waiting 9 months later. So okay, let's see. My interview with USCIS for the green card based on US citizen wife was in April with no response yet. Okay, you might want to have your attorney send a letter to them asking them for a decision on the case. If it's been, once it hits 6 months, you can actually file something to ask them for a decision on the case. If not, you can actually sue the government for a decision. Is that ideal? No, it really depends. Now, if there is no decision on your case, 2 things, okay? They are either doing a fraud investigation, somebody is coming to your neighbor's workplace, trying to figure out if you guys are married for real, and if it's a good faith marriage, or there is a criminal issue going on in your history and they are going to request more documentation, or there is an issue surrounding your immigration history or your spouse's criminal history or marriage history in the past. It could be that your spouse may be petitioned for somebody else in the past, or maybe you have been married before and there were issues of marriage fraud. So many things can happen when the officer didn't make a decision at the interview. It could also be something very simple, such as the officer got sick, the file is on a shelf, and they totally forgot about it, okay? Which is why sometimes you hire an immigration lawyer to just send them a letter to say, hey, you want to look for my file? Okay, so you want to do those things, okay? You know, you alone will know what the red flags are in your case. You know it. Listen, when you go to sleep at night, you know exactly what the red flags are. Even your lawyer might not know what your red flags are, which you should tell your lawyer, but most people choose not to. So if you had an interview and you have not received a response, there are steps you can take. My brother came last month under the parole. That's fantastic. That's awesome. So if your brother came last month under the parole, okay, did he have, depends on which parole, did he have an I-130 that was approved prior to that? Is that visa current? You might want to talk to an immigration attorney right now and see if your brother is eligible to apply for a green card. Some are not, okay? But why just wait? I already addressed this. If you're on probation for battery, no, you cannot apply for citizenship. How to sponsor my young brother who's 15 years old. You file an I-130 for him. You might want to look at other options to see if you can bring him here sooner rather than later, because based on the current processing times, he's not going to be here until he's 40. How long if I'm filing for my parent that's in another country? Honestly, rather than answering that question, what I want you to do, I want you to call an immigration attorney and book an actual consultation. Book a consultation. Consultations are not free, guys. Most immigration lawyers that are worth anything will not give you a free consultation, okay? You want a free consultation, you get what you pay for. Book a consultation and discuss what your options are, because if your parents are in another country, to bring them here will take you a very long time. You might want to see what other options are there, because Google has all the right answers and all the wrong answers, okay? What is the best answer for you? You're only gonna know if you discuss it in detail with an immigration lawyer, okay? Been waiting for K-1 visa interview in Nairobi for 6 months. Is this normal? These days, yes, it is. I got approved for I-129F in 2 months. What's the best process? Now you wait for your I-129F to get sent to the National Visa Center. And once they receive it, there is more waiting for your fiance to be scheduled at the interview. Let's see. How long after filing for VAWA you get prima facie and work permit? So prima facie usually, work permit has nothing to do with the prima facie, okay? So let's make that very clear, okay? Prima facie you get in about 6 months, 4 to 6 months after filing. So you file, you get a receipt in a few months, and then you get the prima facie. Work permit should come from the time of filing in about 6 to 9 months. We have seen them move a little bit faster right now. It used to be really fast a few years back, not anymore. Ms. Boat, how long to file for a parent? It takes you nothing. I already addressed you that seriously. You didn't like my answer. How long to file for a parent? It takes you nothing to file for a parent. Should you really do that? No, because then your parents could be stuck abroad for 15 years. You just don't like my answer. I'm telling you the truth and you don't like it. That's how people get in trouble. Rafiq, I'm here since 2003. My mom sponsored me, but haven't heard anything. I'm thinking I have no case. You don't know that. You don't know that. Latoya, do you think F2A will become current again soon? Yes, I do. What can a person do if the US citizen spouse plans to sabotage the final green card interview? Get out of that relationship, talk to an immigration lawyer because you have options. I had a 485 VAWA interview. Officer said it will be approved in a week. It's been 60 days, nothing yet. Listen, officers are human, okay? They could be sick. There could be something else that's going on. There could be, normally after you have, by the way, just so you know, the immigration officer at the time of your interview, they do not see any of your VAWA facts, okay? And they cannot ask you any questions about the abuse that you endured, okay? So if there is any delay on your actual green card, I'm assuming your I-360 was already approved since you already had your 485 interview. So if there is anything else, it's an issue of admissibility on your 485. So I'm hoping it's not an issue of good moral character, because generally that's where it is. 60 days is really not a long time after your interview, okay? If you see that it's been 6 months, that's when we start worrying about it, okay? All right. So this is all the time that I have today, and I see most of the questions are repetitive at this point. So I will address more questions Tuesdays, guys. Bye now.